What is up, guys, and welcome to the first video in the collision detection section. In this video we are going to set up something called a physics body, and we are going to use this to determine when the hero and an obstacle touch one another. So to start, let's hop into our CCHero class in the initialization function. So a physics body is a property you can set on any type of node. So in here, the SK node class, which is the superclass of the SK sprite node class, has this property called just physics body. And this physics body doesn't actually exist until you set it. So as soon as we set this with doing SK physics body, and we'll use a rectangle of size, now this class officially has a physics body anytime we create an object from it. So the reason we have this rectangle of size parameter here is you have to distinguish between two different things. You have the shape of a node and you have its physics body. So you could have a circular node with a square physics body, and all you need to know is physics bodies can only see other physics bodies. They can't see the shape of any type of node. They only see the physics body that you designate. So if that doesn't make too much sense, we're going to be able to turn on the physics bodies outlines. So when we go into the iOS simulator, you'll be able to see all of the physics bodies and how they're interacting with one another. So by default, when you set a physics body, it is going to be affected by gravity. So it's going to start simulating physics on that object. Just so our hero doesn't just fall off the screen immediately. Actually, I can show you that really fast. If we just run this really quick, you'll see that, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it because it's going to happen really fast. The hero is just going to drop. Okay, let's see if we can get it up and running here. Yeah, I couldn't even see it. The hero right now is basically just dropping and dropping and dropping further and further off the screen. So in order to fix this issue, we are going to change a property on the physics body called affected by gravity, and just set that equal to false. So the reason that there's this question mark here too is that the physics body property is an optional, so you just have to put that in there to let Xcode know that this may or may not have been initialized yet, but we know it's been initialized, so yeah. Cool, so now that we have that gravity to false, we're going to set a couple more properties on this guy. We need to set a category bitmask and also a contact test bitmask. So the category bitmask is the thing that designates what this physics body is, and the contact test bitmask is the thing that designates when a function is going to be called when two objects run into one another. So we're going to define all of these categories in our constants file. Actually, here are the categories right here. I already have them written out. So we're going to have our hero category, which is going to be just for our hero, our default obstacle category, which is going to be for our jump obstacles and our slide obstacles. And last but not least, our attack obstacle category, which will be the bamboo shoot attack obstacle. And the reason that we have two different categories right here is because we need to know if the hero is swinging his sword, he should be able to cut away an attack obstacle, but he should not be able to cut away a slide or a jump obstacle. So if you're confused about this UN32, all this means is it's a 32-bit integer. If you don't know very much about bits, don't really worry about it. As long as you get this syntax down, you just have to write this once. Just make sure each category has a different number. You have these arrows right here and the 0 by 1. So the reason that they have all this is because it's an actual bit mask. Don't need to worry about it too much. Basically just need to know the syntax. Cool, so let's jump back into our CCHero class. We can now set this category bitmask. So I'm going to say it's going to be hero category. And for our contact test bitmask, I want this to be both the default obstacle and the attack obstacle. So we're going to say default obstacle category. And then we're going to put this pipe in here. And the way you do that is you do shift / and then we'll do attack obstacle category as well. Awesome. So now that we have all of this junk designated, we also want to go into our the 3 different obstacle types, and we want to set the physics bodies of those. So we can actually just copy this top bit, because this is going to be basically what we have to do. The reason we leave this part out is because you only have to set the contact test bit mask on one physics body in order to get that interaction going on. So if we set it on all the other obstacles, it would just be repetitive. So let's copy that. Let's jump into our jump obstacle. And we're going to paste that in there. And we also want to change this category bit mask to default obstacle category. It looks like I had already written this in the initialization function. But basically just copy it, change this to the default obstacle category. In the attack obstacle, you want to copy that in and change this to the attack obstacle category. And in the CC slide obstacle, we want to copy this in, and this is going to be the default obstacle category. So awesome. That is going to be just an introduction to the physics bodies. And the next one, we're actually going to make use of this, and that we're going to, in our game scene file, set up the physics world, which is going to allow us to call a function anytime these objects interact with one another.